here, we break down the deal. Wrestling fan Kris, the man in the myth. Voice of the people, that's a hypodermic needle.
What's up, gang? Welcome to the 100th episode of Watch Wrestling with Mike Wellman.
Weekly, we'll take the hot seat from the ring to the street.
Independent, unfiltered, and built by hand by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. Folks, welcome to episode 100. This is the podcast that breaks down the biggest stories in and out of the ring, but you already know that because we have done 100 episodes. We made it, folks. I am your host. My name is Mike Wellman, and we appreciate every single one of you with us on this ride. Episode 100, folks. I am joined, of course, by the voice of the people, the man, the myth, wrestling fan Kris. What's up, Kris?
What is going on? 100 episodes. Amazing. Here we are.
I mean, we've come a long way from definitely knowing for sure that Parker Boudreaux is the next Brock Lesnar. If you remember that.
That was true. We did know that, yes.
We knew that for sure was going to happen. Here we are at 100 episodes.
True?
So, folks, if you're just finding out about us, if you're just tuning in, which you're not, but who are we? Like I said, my name is Mike Wellman. I am joined by my good brother-in-law, wrestling fan Kris. We've done this show for a few years now. Did I say 100 episodes in? This is Watch Wrestling with Mike Wellman, independent, unfiltered, and as I mentioned, built by hand, by fans, for fans. We don't answer to any front row suits, sponsors, or billion-dollar corporations. We answer to you, the people listening right now. Good wrestling, we will praise it. Bad wrestling, we will curse it. No corporate filter, no PR spin. This is DIY wrestling media, punchy, funny, real. You want the truth? You're already here. Welcome to the truth. Welcome to Watch Wrestling, episode 100. On this episode, we are going to review Wrestlemania 42. Folks, WWE put on a little show in Las Vegas last weekend known as Wrestlemania 42. I heard the cheapest tickets were $600. We're going to talk about it. Night one, night two. I mean, we might not have that much wrestling to review because apparently some of these matches were 7 minutes long. But we're also going to talk about Darby Allin, your AEW world champion, Darby Allin. And we got to get this podcast out, folks, because I don't know how long that's going to be the case for here. But yes, Darby Allin, as of this recording, is the AEW world champion, which is awesome news. So we're going to break down Darby's win over MJF last week at this point, over a week ago. But here we are. And then before we get out of here, we're going to do two things. We're going to talk about fans getting too close to wrestlers. We're going to do a little bit of finger wagging here for the folks that need to be told what personal space is. But that's fine. We're happy to do it. And we're also, to celebrate our 100th episode, myself, wrestling fan Kris, are going to name 100 WCW wrestlers off the top of our head before we leave here. So after we do everything else, after our brains are already fried, after we're already cooked, which ran from 1988 to 2001, if you don't know. All right, Kris, did you watch Wrestlemania?
I did, and my father has Xfinity, and apparently the ESPN Plus thing is free on that, so I got to use his password and not have to pay for it. Thank God.
Okay, so you stream sniped or whatever your relative. So did you watch it at your dad's house?
No, I was able to. I did it on my app on the phone. So it wasn't the greatest experience, but hey, it was free. It wasn't 30 whatever bucks.
You didn't pay for ESPN. What are they even calling it? ESPN, not ESPN Plus. That was $5.
Yeah, I don't know. I
don't have it.
Whatever TKO wants, I'm not going to pay them. So
we'll get into TKO here, folks. We got time for TKO on this episode. Yeah, I didn't buy anything, but I saw WrestleMania. What?
Perfect.
I was getting German ads throughout WrestleMania, so
You had a big week, a big travel week. You stopped in Germany. I get it.
it was all over the map last week. So, yeah. So overall, my thoughts on WrestleMania 42 were, man, thank God they had Roman Reigns and CM Punk, because without that main event of night 2, this entire WrestleMania would be summed up as probably in the lower half of WrestleManias, but those two saved it. Night 1 was ass overall, just not a fun show. Night 2 was a little better. Overall, it was a more fun show. I think we're a little bit desensitized. I think as fans, we have a little bit of Stockholm syndrome. We're starting to become sympathetic to our captors, and we love these ads. So, like wrestling fan Kris was just saying, he didn't pay, I didn't pay, but there were still ads. So there, if you are paying the $30 for ESPN, or if you're watching on Netflix or whatever out of the country, you're getting ads, then some more ads, then some more ads, then 7 minutes of wrestling, then more ads. So that was kind of alarming to me that on the biggest show of the year, this 2-night show, for one, I felt like there could have been a few more matches on the card, but seeing what they did with it, they were basically trying to dilute this show down to the least possible amount of entertainment that they could possibly shill to someone, you know? So the road to WrestleMania was paved with corporate interference here, corporate synergy. We had Pat McAfee getting injected into the program by his agent, Ari Emanuel. So there's so many layers to this main event story. But just overall, the show itself, the ads were too much. I was getting Hulk Hogan ads. When this show is done, I'm going to go check out that incomplete Hulk Hogan documentary on Netflix and see what that's about. But I probably watched 45% of it in ads. These fucking 4-minute ads. 4 minutes of Hulk Hogan.
Somebody said I was hearing the rounds on all the social medias that they thought that Hulk Hogan was the most, or that they saw Hulk Hogan more than any other wrestler in WrestleMania. It was Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Michael Cole said this was our first WrestleMania without the presence of Hulk Hogan. No, it's not. I just watched him for 5 straight minutes.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, so let's get into so we've got the presentation of the show, which I actually thought was really good. So let's get the good stuff out of the way first. I liked the stage. The stage was good, and the usage of the screens was good, I thought.
Absolutely. Yeah. They still have production value. The production value has always been good. It's almost never going to be bad. They know what they're doing in production. I mean, I'm sure there could be more fun things or cooler things, but it's never going to be bad. There's no 7-minute ring like wrestling match of production, you know?
Yeah, I liked the blimps. They had a Danhausen blimp. They didn't have a Karate Fighters blimp though. They got to get back on
missed opportunity.
Karate Fighters.
If we're gonna have ads, can we have the Karate Fighters, please?
Stridex, Karate Fighters,
Rock'em Sock'em or whatever it was.
But yeah, they had a Danhausen blimp. That was cool. I like just the stuff throughout the show. Like I said, the way they were using the screens, because a lot of times they'll make it just like some 4D mirror maze of screens, and then all the screens are showing the same thing. So then it's just a big bright neon light in your face. And the entrances were. This was probably one of the best years for entrances because you could tell they just put a lot of effort into everyone's entrance. Everybody had so many extra people involved. Dom came out with like 20 wrestlers. I don't know who any of them are because they were all wearing masks, but you know, AJ Lee came out with a bunch of little skipping children to help her to the ring with championship belts. Everybody had great entrances. Penta had the Mortal Kombat entrance, which even though it was an ad, I was fine with it because it looked cool.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't it seem like that TKO was like, listen, no one remembers the wrestling. They remember entrances and they remember pomp and circumstance. And that's what they did.
Yeah, this was peak all sizzle, no steak. Again, except for the main event of my night 2. And a couple other matches like Seth Rollins, Gunther, and the ladder match. But yeah, this was peak the everything, the pageantry and the costumes and everything matters more than the actual substance of the show. And that's just really where we're going with TKO. They're going to cram everything full of ads. There's ads on the ring. There's ads on the barricades. There's ads in between ads. And I feel like I've said the word ads so many times now that it has no meaning.
Yeah, it's like the ad is the show, and then the match is kind of interstitial. They're the commercials, the matches, and then the ad's the main thing.
Yeah, I think night one, all these matches were 7 minutes, right? So you had the opener here, which Killer Cameron was right. He said that Jey Uso was a night one WrestleMania person. We had LA Knight, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso defeated ISHO Speed, Logan Paul and Austin Theory, and ISHO Speed did a big splash, which this was cool. They had drone cameras, a lot of good camera angles for this. But also, even on camera, everywhere you looked, it was like people were these National Geographic videographers. Like, oh no, we're on the live speaker? How does that always happen? So yeah, everywhere you look, someone's just filming someone else with this big camera rig. Like, there's just so many camera rigs everywhere. It's great. They have a lot of great footage, but it's just, you could notice that too. You could see all the people with cameras everywhere. And then, so really, aside from this big splash onto the table by ISHO Speed, nothing. This was 7 minutes. Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu, this was like another 7 minutes.
That one should have been, give him more time. Like, we should have got more out of that. That would have been awesome. It was so pretty. I didn't mind it. It wasn't mind blowing. It could have been a main event on SmackDown, but it was still pretty good. So give me a little more time. Do something else.
And then this was cool in the women's tag team match. The night before on Friday, you had the Hall of Fame, and Brie Bella and Nikki Bella were walking down the red carpet, and then one of the announcers was like, "Yeah, I see you got a walking boot on," and Nikki Bella's like, "Yep, we're still good. I'm still doing it tomorrow. We're still wrestling." And then, of course, she comes out at WrestleMania. Of course, right? We got to have a 10-minute... between all these ads, we got to have 10 minutes of Nikki Bella talking about how she can't make it. Okay, we get it. Like you didn't even have to come out here. And then they announced that she's being replaced by a surprise partner for Brie, because we don't want to ruin Brie Danielson's WrestleMania moment. So her partner is the returning Paige. This was cool. I think this was probably the biggest pop of the night on night one, was for Paige coming back.
Yeah. That was a good moment.
I'm surprised any of these newer wrestling fans even know who she is. She's been gone for a while. So then, of course, Brie and Paige win the women's tag team titles in about 7 minutes. And then the next match, Becky Lynch. This was my favorite entrance. The Wonder Years, folks, playing at WrestleMania. Mark it down. Best WrestleMania entrance ever. Love the Wonder Years. Shout out to the Wonder Years. Becky Lynch, about 7 minutes later, she's the Women's Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, fine.
Gunther and Seth Rollins, one of the better matches. They had about 15 minutes. And then this one, we got the big surprise return of Braun Breaker, who ran all the way down the aisle and then barely clipped Seth Rollins with a spear. Just barely touched him. Vince McMahon hit that car in front of him way harder than Braun Breaker hit Seth Rollins here. Then we got Liv Morgan beating Stephanie Vaquer, about 7 minutes. Then Cody and Randy Orton. This one made absolutely no sense. All right, so let me try to make sense of this situation coming in, because I don't even think Pat McAfee ruined this match or anything, because he kind of just did generic heel stuff. He didn't really make it about him per se, although him just coming out as the first guy to come out. He's just, it's funny, he's got go away heat, but he does everything that you should be doing to get heat. He's really obnoxious. He's hard to listen to talk. He makes everything about himself. It's just not.
Yes.
He's goofy looking. He's got everything you need for a heel, but for some reason he's just a legit heel, and we want him to go away. So he comes out first, and the whole situation here is that Randy Orton needed to be reminded that he was one of the greatest. So now we've got Pat McAfee, the modern day attempt at Freddie Blassie here, and he is hyping up Randy Orton, because Randy Orton apparently needs that. He needs voices outside of his head as well.
Got him.
And So Cody's getting like tepidly booed, and this is a good time to mention just the Las Vegas crowd in general. So the Las Vegas crowd is a bit of a tough crowd because a lot of folks are traveling, right?
Yeah.
So this is probably not, especially with the wrestling fans and WrestleMania weekends, this is probably not their first show of the weekend. They may have spent all their awesome energy. They may have peaked already at a fun GCW show or something with Mick Foley, you know? So you don't know that if these people are fatigued from all the wrestling shows already or just from being in Vegas in general from traveling. But the other thing is that the non-traveling Vegas crowd or people who maybe have traveled shorter distances, like maybe from California or whatever, they're more used to the show and entertainment environment of Las Vegas. So you got to put on a bigger show to impress these people, you know? You can't just come out here with a basic generic show and expect the Las Vegas crowd. They're just going to sit on their hands like they did at times in this show. So, but they were kind of half on board with booing Cody, but they never really committed to hating him. Like in AEW, Cody was obviously at the end getting much more boos. It was clear.
Oh, yeah.
But this was just kind of a runaround story with all these little, you know, like I said, we got Ari Emanuel. And Ari Emanuel is based on the character of Ari from Entourage, if you guys don't know that. So the owner of TKO, which owns WWE and UFC, he is basically the company Endeavor is what sort of created TKO and then bought and then merged these two companies, right? First they bought UFC, then they bought WWE, made TKO. But Endeavor started off as like a talent agency, so that's why they represent all this talent across Hollywood and the entertainment industry. So he's like a big shot Hollywood talent agent a la Ari Gold from Entourage. Again, the character of Ari from Entourage is based off of this guy, Ari Emanuel, who now owns WWE. And imagine this, Kris. Imagine an episode of Entourage where Ari... fast forward, they like bring back Entourage, and you fast forward, and now Ari and like Lloyd, they own the big wrestling company, and they have to force Johnny Drama into the main event of the big wrestling show, and everybody hates Johnny Drama even more now. So then the whole season is just Johnny Drama like walking up to wrestling fans on the street, just asking them why everyone hates him, and trying to just win back every single wrestling fan who hates Guts.
Listen, that's a great like analogy, but I would actually love to see that as a season of Entourage.
It would be better.
That.
It would be better than Pat McAfee. Johnny Drama. Yeah. They should have just brought in Johnny Drama. What's his name? Matt Dillon's brother to do this. People would have liked it better.
Kevin Dillon, that's his name.
Kevin Dillon. Should have brought in Kevin Dillon. Much more entertaining than Pat McAfee.
Definitely.
But nonetheless, we got Pat McAfee. So they were kind of booing Cody again. Kind of. Randy's doing heel stuff, trying to get boos, but they're kind of cheering him. And it was never really consistent because the story wasn't consistent. They weren't really telling these fans any one thing. They're doing low blows. Apparently now all the baby faces do low blows. Cody was doing them. Punk was doing them. Low blows are no longer, doesn't mean you're turning on the crowd, using heel maneuvers. Yeah. So, but it was the fact that Cody had to resort to a low blow, I guess, was the relevance of that one. But nonetheless, in about 7 minutes, Cody Rhodes. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't 7 minutes. It was a decent match. It wasn't a bad match, but so there was a ref bump. Pat McAfee comes out as the fake ref. Then Randy gets fed up with Pat McAfee, just gives him an RKO, and then that allows Cody to catch Randy in a crossroads, get the pin. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, what kind of booking is that? Why would Randy Orton? Well, you bring Pat McAfee in, and then Randy Orton's the one who RKO's him, and he's trying to be the heel, but he's not. And then Cody's doing all this, and he's kind of getting booed, but not really, and all this stuff. And it was just poor because you didn't stress enough about like legacy and all that stuff in the past they had. It just wasn't enough. Like if I didn't know about that, if I just came in, I would barely think there was even a thing in their past. That's all they had to do.
Yeah, they definitely could have brought up a lot more of the past rather than just the route they went with, which was at first talk about how Randy has a past separate from Cody of being just this dark, evil, brutal, guy who will punt a woman in the head. And then they kind of went Pat McAfee. Like I said, Ari Gold brought in Pat McAfee. And then that kind of they tried to lean into it, like they tried to make Pat. I don't know. I guess the original statements he made about the numbers were kind of off script, and then they ran with it, and then they had these little things where Cody's like destroying his podcast set and all this stuff. It was not Piper's Pit. It was not. So I just thought overall it was a flop. And then so after the match, puzzling for no reason whatsoever. Cody wins. He's all bloody. And then Randy Orton takes the championship, hits Cody, kicks him in the face. Cody's eyes like swollen shut like he's been in a slap fight. Dana White slap fight over here with his eye deformed. And that's it. Cody just won, but now his eyes closed from getting beat up, and Randy Orton just leaves. He was also selling a back injury for some reason. Randy, the heel.
Like, I thought this was WrestleMania. I didn't know this was Raw. Like, what's going on here? This is they should have been doing this to lead up to this match.
This is booking on the fly.
WrestleMania is just a transition to Backlash. Okay, whatever.
I mean, WrestleMania is just a transition to the next ad.
Touche. Yeah. I mean,
So night one, not a lot, and John Cena was there. He was the host. It wasn't didn't really do much. But so yeah, night one was just a flop overall. The amount of ads they subject you to is not worth what you get for the substantive product that you're ostensibly there to watch, right? Like, people do watch Super Bowl for ads, but they still play the game. They don't just say, well, guess what? We're only doing ads this year, and then we'll do like the big entrances, but like we're going to cut out 3/4 of the Super Bowl. We're just going to do 1/4 because who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Right? You all came to see the Budweiser ads. Who gives a fuck?
That's exactly what it's like.
You came to see the Mandalorian and Grogu ad. You don't care about this bullshit sport,
That's it. Yep.
So they really milked this one. They really got everything they could. They rang this rag out pretty dry at WrestleMania night one. I noticed night one seemed to be the preferred night of all of the. Well, I just saw a lot of guys in the front row on the not camera side that didn't want to be on camera that just looked like tech bros. So I think night one was the important businessman, night out, front row night.
That's why you got to do the ads. They're there. Night one.
So night two was a lot better overall. Same ads, right? Still ads everywhere. Also, still 7-minute matches, it seems. And again, obviously, these are not all legit 7-minute matches. I'm just saying because it was going viral that some of these matches were 7 minutes. That they basically were 7 minutes. A lot of them lacked substance.
Oh yeah.
So, but this was a good one. Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar. So this was a WrestleMania match to me, even though it was short. I mean, Brock Lesnar has kind of graduated to this final boss level where every match it's you do, especially if it's against another big guy. The formula is kind of you do the big like standoff and face off, and no one can really push the other one. Then you just go right to the finishes, right? You just skip the middle of the match where somebody gains the upper hand, capitalizes, use their strengths, use their technique. No, we just start doing F5s, So this was a good one. Brock F5s, Oba Femi. Oba Femi just gets up. No sells that F5.
I liked it. I thought he should have no. I know it's because Brock was like pimping the crowd, but that should have been like a Road Warrior, like Hawk no sell on the pile driver where he just popped right up. It was kind of like he got up, but he was like kind of waiting, So
with the logic of no selling the F5, is it that Oba Femi, like no one can F5 him? Or is it that Brock is so old now and Oba Femi is the new generation and younger and stronger, and that Brock's F5 is weak and doesn't work? What do you think?
Good question. I think it's because Oba Femi is just too. You can't F5 him. No. It won't affect him.
Maybe they might have to bring in Wardlow and use the F10.
There it is.
Which is Wardlow's version where he just fucking spins the shit out of you like you're a pizza dough.
Where you at, Ari Emanuel? There's your WrestleMania 43.
Hey, book it. Oba Femi versus Wardlow. Oh no, it would be like Oba Femi versus Mr. Beast, like Kenny Omega said.
Here.
So this was fun. Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar, just a big ass muscly dude showdown, And, they did what they had to do. So Obafemi wins. So now I told Kris this back, we just didn't do a show when this news was going around, but there was a little rumor online that Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar were pushing for Brock to not lose until his retirement at SummerSlam or whatever it was. But I told Kris, I said, I think that seems exactly like the kind of rumor that Paul Heyman himself would put out there. This is just pure speculation, but to throw people off so that way it is a surprise. If the rumor going around is that Brock is, oh no, there's politics involved. Okay, so then you expect that, and then you get the surprise the good guy actually wins. So it's like, oh, they actually did what we wanted.
That's exactly what Paul Heyman would do, yes.
No evidence whatsoever to that claim.
But, I mean, it was pretty impressive, even if it was a short match. I mean, first of all, oh man, taking those German suplexes, he's a big man. I'm like, oh, my God. Those look devastating. But then Brock taking that power bomb, though, oh, my goodness.
Yep, that was a definitive win. I mean, I thought that Brock could have wrestled a few more times. It didn't have to be this, but
yeah,
it was definitely definitive. Brock Lesnar took off his wrestling shoes, took off his boots, or took off his gloves, and left him in the ring on top of whatever, the Dude Wipes or whatever logo, Stridex or Castrol Syntec, whatever. 1-800-COLLECT.
Oh, those are days. Yeah.
So Brock leaves his gloves and his shoes in the ring, calling it a day. He even cried a little bit. This grown man, this monster, this beast, this conqueror. He cried, and it was ugly crying. It was not good to watch. So, but that's it. So then I texted Kris. I was like, so that's it. Now we can judge Brock Lesnar's career, and just in sports, just an insane career overall. One of a kind, Brock Lesnar. No one did what he did. No one else could, but there's just so much uniqueness. Like I saw something, like some post online. It was like one of those graphics, those social graphics, all about Brock Lesnar, and it completely left out the fact that he was an NCAA national champion wrestler.
That's how accomplished, yeah.
Like
unbelievable.
So there's just so much that Brock Lesnar did, like going to the UFC after, what was it, like 1 or 2 fights, becoming UFC heavyweight champion. Brock was key in the rise of the UFC because there are no people like that out there now. It was a time. It's past. There's no giant Mortal Kombat monsters walking around where we're wondering how they would do in the real cage fighting. Like, those days are over.
Yeah.
But Brock was the biggest part of that in terms of biggest draws in UFC history until you got to the sort of Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, Nate Diaz kind of era there. It was GSP and Brock, basically, for the biggest draws in the UFC. And yeah, I've seen a few Brock fights out in public there at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I went to the movies, I believe, for his Shane Carwin fight.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, there used to be a Buffalo Wild Wings up in near UMass, and I went there for UFC 100, and I couldn't get in. So there was a huge line, and there was no tables, but they just let us all stand around and watch all the TVs still. So I saw UFC 100. That was awesome. And I also saw The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25 before the event on the TV. And then I realized, wow, wrestling is still cool, because I had been lapsed a little bit at the time, and I got back into it. All because of Brock, really.
I'm lapsed from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hey, there's a new one in town here, so I'm back.
Oh, really? I'll bleep that out. Oh, yeah? In West Newbury, Massachusetts?
Yeah. Buy one, get one boneless on Thursday, and buy one, get one bone in on Tuesday. Let's go.
Yeah, one of the times I went there for a UFC fight, and they just kept making me buy wings. And I was like,
damn.
I was like, man, like, this is the first fight. How many more wings are you going to make me buy? I had to ask him. I had to say, like, I will eat more wings, but you need to leave me alone for like 40 minutes.
I will not be able to last this long with all these wings.
Just the wings started to taste like I couldn't eat any more wings, but I was just, I remember I was so full of wings, and they brought me another plate of wings, and I was like, oh my God. It's like 12:30 at night, and I'm just eating wings.
I remember, back to Brock, he was the last, when he debuted, I loved him. I thought he was such a great wrestler. He had such great matches with Kurt Angle that I didn't realize that I loved Kurt Angle back then, but I also did. And I was just watching like two masters of the craft, and then he left.
Yeah. So yeah, he just to drop these little pinpoints. So Brock is this NCAA national champion wrestler, goes to WWE. He's like the youngest champion. He's like 21 or something. You know, he shows up. Who does he destroy in his debut scene? The Hardy Boys. Shows up with Paul Heyman on SmackDown. He has this, you know, rocket strapped to him in WWE. Then decides that, well, I've already done national championship level NCAA wrestling in college, and I'm sick of this fake wrestling. I'm gonna go just straight to the NFL and play pro football, which he didn't really last in the NFL. I don't even know if he played a game, but he was, you know, just got signed to the Vikings. Like, this guy would just show up places, and his freak level of athleticism would just get him in the door at the highest level of any sport. He did obviously not end up in the NFL, but then the MMA career happens, and that's the biggest thing. So then he comes back, you know, to that John Cena, like destroying John Cena feud after he'd already been in the UFC. So then he goes back to the UFC for a few fights. So now he's like this double fisting, like getting money from both worlds. I mean, it was just crazy. So definitely an insane, unique career in sports, and it's hard to. Why is everything on the loudspeaker here? Mom, I don't care if the ravioli is getting cold. I'm doing something. So, no, that was my probation officer, actually. I got to go. But, yeah, so just an insane career in sports. Just unlike any other. And if you... Okay, I'm going to kill this kid. Hang on. I got to murder somebody. I'm going to block him. This dude never stops texting me. Sometimes I block him and forget.
The meatloaf!
I don't care about the meatloaf. I had a late lunch. So, So basically, I still don't know how that's on this mixing board. The Bluetooth is off. But, yeah, Brock Lesnar, insane career, insane arenas that he would just walk into. And then really, in terms of just pro wrestling, not considered one of the greatest of all time, but he actually is, because of how much he would get out of not doing so little. But like I said, this match, they go right to the finish, right?
Yeah.
And he had this whole track record of working with younger guys like, you know, like AJ Styles and Bryan and all these, or not younger guys, smaller guys. And like that youngster AJ Styles. And, and, you know, so he could do good matches, but then also the big man, giant matches. He was just a big attraction, and finally hanging him up. So we'll see. I think definitely the rub really got put on Obafemi. That dude is covered in rub. Is he not? Obafemi?
Yes. You could put the title on him next week. It'll be fine.
You could put him on the grill. He's ready to go. He's coated.
Marinating.
He's got all the rub. So, no, they did a good job. He really looks like the next big thing, which is what they're calling him, obviously, as well. All right, so a good match from WrestleMania Night 2 was this ladder match. This was one of the best ladder matches, probably, in WWE in years. You know?
Oh, yeah. I'm so glad that Penta is the Intercontinental Champion and doing things. It makes me very happy.
I'm so glad that Penta did this Code Red off the ladder onto a ladder and didn't bend anybody's ankle backwards like he did with Dante Martin.
Listen, honestly, that's the first thing I thought of, even when the match was announced. I'm like, oh, no.
It's going to be a Code Red onto a ladder. There's one point in the beginning of the match where, like, JD McDonough, like, lands on a ladder and awkward. Like, they were all doing some awkward landings in this one at times, but he just lands, like, with his, like, middle of his back on the corner of a ladder, and he just rolls out of the ring and he's like, Jesus! I was like, yeah, I bet.
That'll do it, yeah.
Jesus! So, yeah, this was good. Rey Mysterio was in here. Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, and Rusev. Rusev took some big bumps in this one, too.
You're good to see him, too. Absolutely.
And, yeah, so Penta defended the IC title, won it. You're not getting the belt off Penta. Come on.
No, come on.
Penta's like the most popular guy in WWE right now.
But now it's 2 for 2 on night 2 now with pretty fun matches. So
then we got Trick Williams being accompanied by Little Yachty, who I don't know if you saw, Kris, but he did he tried to do like the meme thing from that everybody does, like the meme of it's Little Yachty coming out on stage.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't think the wrestling crowd got it. They're too busy. They're used to seeing it as like the cartoon version of Cyclops doing that or something.
That's right.
But yeah, so Trick Williams had the longest train I've ever seen in my life. It was even longer than the Godfather's Hoe train.
Nice. Oh God.
On this jacket. This jacket was the length of the entire entrance ramp. But it was cool. And yeah, Sami Zayn does not know why the fans hate him. I actually like that aspect of this because some fan reactions are not, so like you lean into it and then Sami Zayn can just say, I don't know why you all hate me. And it's like, yeah, I don't know either. They're just dicks. Like they're just being assholes to you. Like, because that does happen where all of a sudden, think of The Rock when Rocky Maivia, he was a baby face. He's coming out smiling and everybody hated him. He kind of did the same thing when he's like, you pieces of crap. But Sammy's like, I don't know why you guys don't like me, but I'm still going to be nice. But
Sammy's good enough too, though, to like, if that's how he's going to play it, I think that's good. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. But then Trick won the match, obviously, and became the U.S. champion.
Did we really have to have Sammy win the title, though? Couldn't it have just been Carmelo against Trick? I mean,
maybe they're building toward Carmelo and Trick for like a bigger match. I don't know.
Could be. All that NXT feud that everyone knows about.
Yeah,
right.
During the unwatchable NXT.
Yeah.
No, that was when it started to get good again. Obviously, it was when those two were. It was when it was those first couple weeks when they were on TV.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
they crossed over.
The Rainbow NXT.
Uh huh.
So next up, we had the return of the Demon, which, if you ask Finn Balor, is just some face paint that he puts on. There's no difference. Versus Dirty Dom Mysterio, the king of the luchadors, the AAA mega champion, came out here, like I said, with about 20 guys in masks. That was cool.
Great entrances from Dom over the years at WrestleMania. All right. Love it.
I wonder if Dan Barry was one of the luchadors. No, I don't think he was in town because he's retired.
Kind of close to LA, though. Close enough for him to get over there and get some money. Just saying.
So, of course, they would not have the Demon lose even to Dom Mysterio because then the Demon would be useless after his tripping over the rope and losing to Roman Reigns and getting completely nerfed. They had to give a win to the Demon, which is what we got here.
Yes. Fun. Another one.
It was a street fight. It was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then, in about 7 minutes, Rhea Ripley defeated Jade Cargill to win the WWE Women's Championship. This was interesting because Rhea's had great entrances in the past. She's had the band play her a song before.
Yeah.
She just comes out here. It was like she was the one person that was just her. Like you're waiting for something like, is there going to be fireworks? Is there going to be a big banner? Nope. Just Rhea Ripley. That's all you needed.
Yeah.
So she wins. Io Sky comes out because obviously Michin and B-Fab had to come out and try to interfere. So then it was really cool because Io does a moonsault, and right as she's doing it, Jade tries to kick her. That was good. As she's like flipping backwards onto her friends, that was a good spot.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And then the match of WrestleMania, folks. A classic WrestleMania main event. Really one of the best WrestleMania main events of all time, in my opinion. CM Punk and Roman Reigns. This was good. Roman's coming out back with his old Tribal Chief music. It was good. It was kind of like a combination of his previous entrances because he had the drummer and he had the people. It was great. It was just a fantastic Roman Reigns WrestleMania entrance. And then CM Punk comes out. I really liked this CM Punk video package. They played the AFI, his old independent theme song. I thought he was going to come out in basketball shorts again like he did for the MJF match when he did this in AEW. But they played, this was like his highlight reel because think about it. Last year, the story was CM Punk finally gets to have a WrestleMania main event. He's finally in the main event. but it's the main event of night one. It's not for a championship. There's all these caveats. Like when he was the champion back in the day, he's wrestling Jericho. He's defending the WWE championship, but he's not in the main event. You know, all this stuff. There's all these caveats. But then this is it. This is closing the show, closing WrestleMania, the main event. It was the match of the night. It was definitely WWE's match of the year so far. Now other people are texting me that I don't even like or know. I don't get texts like this. I mean, this is ridiculous. I don't even, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to shut this phone off. Mom, how do you shut a phone off? So CM Punk comes out. He's got the people who died on the WWE employees and Bo Luder's name on the jacket. He's got the Larry patch, which I was surprised they weren't selling that Larry patch by the end of the night.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, folks. I went to New York City. I'm just getting over that disease place. Mm-hmm. So CM Punk comes out. This was a great match. I don't know exactly the length. It was over a half an hour, definitely. And this match had everything you need in a big WrestleMania main event. They went in the crowd. They were breaking tables, in and out of the ring, spears, the GTSs. Roman ultimately hits Punk with a spear because Punk was so flippin' exhausted. He was exhausted. He could barely hold his own body up. Yeah. So he collapsed while trying to hit a go to sleep. And Roman Reigns hits 2 spears on CM Punk to become the world heavyweight champion. And afterwards, Punk's flopping all around the ring. He can't even stand up. That was good. Oh, and we forgot to talk about Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll did a ridiculous bump on night one. Probably the bump of the night from Jelly Roll.
Cool.
From night one. It was
cool. It was cool, but still.
Because he took out Pat McAfee. That was what the purpose that it served there on night one in the Cody match. But yeah, overall, like I said, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, match of the year so far for WWE. I'm saying that because I think that MJF versus Kenny Omega from just the other pay-per-view the other day, Dynasty or whatever that I just watched, was the match of the year so far, overall. Just a tad better, in my opinion. But this was good. Roman and Punk. 2 main eventers in WWE I feel bad for the other wrestlers because they had 7 minutes. It wasn't like they all the rest of them suck, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
It's just like these are the guys that they let have a half hour. That's all. You know?
Exactly.
And finally, one thing I do want to talk about on WrestleMania weekend, this thing that I thought was absolutely hilarious. In the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which now takes place on Friday Night SmackDown, the night before WrestleMania, Johnny Gargano was just laying in the ring. And I thought that was hilarious.
See, I said it. He's doing good work. He knows how to do this. I hope it works for him.
There's a battle royal happening, which everybody is in the ring at the same time. So you could just get a black eye in a battle royal just from somebody else hitting somebody else, and you got Johnny Gargano just laying on the mat.
So good.
Hilarious. Yeah, actually, Kris. Well, we've got a few more minutes here for WrestleMania. Did you watch the Hall of Fame this year, or did you skip it?
Not this year. I did not watch it. No,
I did watch it. I thought that Stephanie McMahon's. I like the video packages that kind of sum up these guys' career. I think that's the best way to package it, you know, is just put all those highlights there. And I thought that Stephanie deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. I saw a lot of stuff that said she didn't, and she's, it's a Nepo baby and all this stuff. But tons of other people are more deserving. But she's done enough, I think, to deserve to be in there. Demolition was awesome that they got to go in. And who else went in? Sid's family was not happy about his induction. They did not get. All they got was like a little moment. Like, look who's in the crowd. It's Sid's family, you know. So that was that. Bad News Brown also went in the Legacy wing. They inducted the immortal moment from WrestleMania 3, the Andre Hogan Hogan slamming Andre.
Yeah.
When Andre allegedly said, "Slam me, boss." And the match that Hogan made up in a world that is already fake. Only Hulk Hogan can add new layers of fakery to this story where he wasn't sure whether or not Andre the Giant was going to willingly lose to him at WrestleMania 3.
Brother, that's true.
Hogan also went on to lie and say that Andre the Giant died just days later after WrestleMania 3, even though Andre the Giant lost the tag team titles 3 years later at WrestleMania 6. Brother, he died just a few days later, brother, after I slammed him. And Pontiac.
He's 975 pounds, dude.
Brother, he was at least 620. So yeah, the Hall of Fame this year, it's much more like they had a good thing with the Hall of Fame for several years. Obviously, they had the stars, right? They were just filling up this fictional Hall of Fame. So they had all the stars, right? They had Stone Cold, Ric Flair, Jim Ross, Jerry Lawler, all these guys that they could put in the Hall of Fame still. There was only like Andre and a couple other guys, right? So when they were inducting all of the famous guys like The Rock and everybody and all that. Well, wait, The Rock's still in the Hall of Fame, is he?
I don't think so.
No, but who did he go out like when he was who was he inducting? Was he inducting his dad? It was like I felt like he was inducting somebody. He was there for something. But when they were inducting all of the biggest stars, you know, from wrestling's past, the shows were bigger. They would put them in the arenas. The fans were there. Now it's like in a theater somewhere, kind of tucked away. After they make the wrestlers go there, these people do not want to be there, right? None of these wrestlers. They used to look like you'd see the wrestlers in the crowd. They'd be crying along with the speech, and you know, these guys are the future. These guys tomorrow night are going to go out there and put on a show, and the wrestlers would be like, you know, up till 2 a.m. listening to these old timers talk. But now they're just like, you know, it's like, yeah, I'm here.
Cool.
So it's much more subdued now. I don't know why. And then I think they learned their lesson with having it in the arenas when that guy attacked Bret Hart.
Yes.
That was awkward.
Also, I think it's very funny that people are mad that Stephanie McMahon goes in the Hall of Fame. It's a fake Hall of Fame for a fake sport. It's okay. We're good.
It's a double fiction.
That's right.
It's fictional fiction, folks. It's actually, does that make it real? If it's something, so it's a fake Hall of Fame. So the Hall of Fame itself is not real. There's no physical building. There's no criteria. There's no votes. It's completely fake.
Yeah.
But the criteria to get in is also fake. So, am I in the Hall of Fame?
I mean,
standing at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think you are.
I mean, if it's fake, I'm in it.
Where's your ring?
Where's not my ring?
Oh my God, we're getting crazy now.
Prove that I don't have a Hall of Fame ring. You don't know. All right. So, anything else from WrestleMania? We talked about the entrances, the pageantry.
What about Danhausen?
Oh my God! Thank you so much. I mean, I'm just sitting here staring at him, trying to get him to curse you as we're on the show. Yes, this was, I thought, very good, very evil, very nice, because Danhausen comes out. I knew they were going to do something. John Cena's out there. There's like an hour left of the show before the main event. I knew there was something, you know, something's going to happen. And I didn't think The Rock was going to come out or anything, but I just figured they were going to fill time with somebody. So I honestly didn't think it was going to be Danhausen. Danhausen's only been in WWE since the last pay-per-view. So the fact that he's coming out here on night 2 of WrestleMania and doing a comedy segment with John Cena, the host of WrestleMania, and they're putting so much effort into it, like with his entrance, with his debut, and then this time with all of the midgets that were involved in the. Well, no. So if you're on a jet, if you're riding on a jet, and you're not having a good time, the experience can be kind of mid. It can be a mid jet, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can be riding a mid jet.
Totally.
Right? And The Miz ended up riding mid jets out of the ring after Danhausen and his small gentleman Danhausens, which that was awesome. Those little guys were it was great. Danhausen, they're doing very good with nailing all of the Danhausen lexicon and everything and having him come out. And you can also just tell how happy he is because even through the face paint that he's just loving it. He just gets to be out there after all those years of being like one of the most popular wrestlers, never being on TV for years. Now he's finally just gets to go and be in the segment right before the main event of WrestleMania with John Cena and The Miz.
Oh. And I mean, we did say that we had confidence in Danhausen. We knew he was going to be able to get over, and look at him now. One pay-per-view later.
Yeah, and he had a blimp. He went on the Goodyear blimp around Las Vegas. I think they learned that like they should just go all gas, no brakes with Danhausen, you know? Like
smart move.
Don't just dip a toe in and he can talk about blimps. No, make the blimp, you know?
Yes, you have to go full hog on everything.
I fully expect The Rock to want to be in a segment with Danhausen. That's how popular Danhausen is going to be, I think.
There's SummerSlam. There you go.
Like people are going to want to leech off of Danhausen, you know? They're going to want to they're going to be like, "Oh, I want to be in with Danhausen now." And it's going to be like up to the level of The Rock, I think.
It's going to be great.
All right, so let's jump over now and discuss some AEW business because while WWE was gearing up for WrestleMania, AEW just had a world title change on Dynamite, which I appreciate how much they kind of told you in advance. Like, they might as well have had Tony Schiavone do like a throwback and be like, "You guys are going to want to tune in later on tonight because Darby Allin is going to win the world title." But yes, Darby Allin is the AEW world champion. And this is awesome. I think this was great. So the story was that MJF had this big match against Kenny Omega. Again, like I said earlier, match of the year, in my opinion. Omega versus MJF so far for 2026. And so Darby beats Andrade on the pay-per-view. MJF does some little backstage promo where he says, like, "All right, after my match with Kenny Omega, I'm going off the grid. I'm going unplugged. I don't want to know what's going on." Meanwhile, Darby cuts a promo that says, because Dynamite isn't going to be in his hometown of Everett, Washington, that he's getting his championship match this Wednesday on Dynamite, regardless of whether it's Kenny or MJF.
Yeah.
So MJF beats Kenny Omega, and now Dynamite starts off. MJF's walking in wearing a suit. He doesn't understand that he's got a championship match. It's supposed to open the show. Darby comes out ready to go, and MJF then comes out in a suit, says, "We're not doing this right now. My back hurts, blah, blah, blah. I just had a match." And then basically Darby cuts this impassioned promo about how like he had his first match down the road from here. He trained down the road from here. And if he's not ready tonight, he's never going to be ready for this. And you could just tell like they're not doing this for nothing, you know? So then, you know, Brian, who has way too much fun doing this stuff, like he does the whole, "Wait a second, I got an announcement from Tony Khan," and he's like smiling ear to ear. Like, who smiles that much when you're just delivering an announcement? Yeah. And then so he delivers the announcement that the match is going to be the main event later tonight on Dynamite. You know, MJF defending against Darby to give MJF time to basically put on gear and stuff. And then MJF goes over to Brian, who's on commentary, and MJF's like swatting at him and pawing at him, and like Brian just looks at him like. It was the funniest moment. He's just like he loved it. Like he's like, what? You know, what are you gonna do? Hit me? Maybe he's Teflon Brian. Who knows?
Yeah,
can't touch him. But so that gets announced, and then the actual match later on, right? So the first thing is Darby's getting ready to come out. He gets met in the back by Old Man Sting, folks. I thought that I saw an advertisement that said Sting was no longer going to leave the house wearing face paint. Okay, that's what I thought I saw. But then on Dynamite, he was back there in Everett, Washington. Yes, Sting was there, folks. So once you saw Sting backstage there to support Darby, you knew.
That was it, yep.
Sting does not, I mean, again, he already told the public he's not leaving the house in face paint anymore. This was the exception to that rule. So you cannot get your money back for that because he did not break the contract. So now, like, this thing is loaded up. Like, it's time for Darby and MJF. They've only got a few minutes left of the show, really. And MJF comes out. These guys got to stop kissing the belt, because they all kiss the belt. Whether they just go like they're kissing it goodbye, and it's like you just make everybody think you're about to lose it when you kiss the belt, like you're kissing it goodbye.
Yep.
Everybody who loses kisses their fucking belt goodbye in the ring, and you need to stop doing that. So, so basically, MJF hits Darby with a low blow, kind of like before the match. Darby then hits MJF with a low blow. We get going. We just get 4 coffin drops and a headlock takeover, and Darby Allin is the AEW World Champion, folks. This was awesome. So then the baby faces come out. This was a little to nitpick, like the Outrunners are not like Darby's friends, Like,
yeah,
I don't. He's got people that he's close with. They just brought out like the baby faces that were there, like the Outrunners, the Young Bucks, Darby Allin's bosses, came out and shook his hand.
Very good.
So this was a great moment in AEW. To me, Darby Allin was always the one guy in AEW that you can draw a circle around and say it's just a matter of when, not if, he becomes the AEW World Champion. Can't say that about Sammy Guevara. Can't say that about Jack Perry. Obviously, MJF's already been the champion twice, but he was the guy in AEW, right? He was, in a way, AEW's Mick Foley, in a way, right?
Oh, yeah,
because
definitely.
Mick Foley won the WWF Championship on Raw. It was a great moment. It was a turning point in the Monday Night Wars. Everybody wanted it to happen. It was great, right? He didn't have to be champion forever. He didn't have to be the tribal chief going on a 4-year-long run.
Yeah.
But I think he became champion again, Mick Foley. He was a multiple-time champion, right?
Yeah, more than once, yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't even far-fetched. Like, the big moment is this underdog guy finally winning. And they built Darby up to do all of that. I mean, he climbed Mount Everest. That's still better than this because that's a real thing. That's a real mountain to climb, Mount Everest, and he did it. This is a fake mountain. Wrestling, Mount Everest is the real world. Wrestling is the fake world. So, but now he can say that he also mentioned Mount Everest in his promo that he planted the AEW flag. And to be honest, somebody goes to the top of Mount Everest and plants your wrestling flag, you got to give them the world championship. No matter who they are. They did that shit.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So Darby gets it done. He's the AEW World Champion, like I said, as of this recording, because we got a lot of AEW plans on our fantasy booking sheet here. We've got All In London this summer. Will Ospreay is healthy also as of this recording. So why wouldn't you finally have him win his AEW championship at Wembley Stadium, right? So Darby versus Will Ospreay, I don't know about that. But the beauty of Darby Allin winning is it's a historic moment. It's not a moment like on the WWE side where they lack all storytelling for the sake of a big, haluva kick or something.
Yeah.
But it's a moment in that they had been building towards the moment, and really Darby's title reign, there aren't requirements that he has a long title reign, right? The moment was him winning. It's presumed that he will eventually lose it, but it was just him winning it. And then if he wins it again, it's all about Darby kind of the moment where he actually overcomes the adversity and wins the championship. And so he may lose it sooner rather than later, but I thought overall this was awesome.
It was shocking. I mean, it was shocking to think about it, but once, like you said, once Sting was there, like, you knew it was time. Tony Schiavone hinting that you better tune it in. We knew.
They definitely wanted you to know. Like, for one, they teased it, right? Darby's like, we're going to Everett, Washington, because then it's like, well, why would you have him lose again in his hometown? That's, because you can still build up something and have somebody lose. But so then it's like on the show, by not doing it in the first match and then teasing it for later, you're just adding to this level of excitement with the people. And then Sting coming out, it's just, they were trying to let you know, like, don't think we're not going to do this. Like, this isn't a throwaway championship match. Like, you're going to want to watch this. So that was what I liked, is that they were building towards it all night. It wasn't just like, Kenny Omega's going to defend the world championship against Brian Cage later. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, you can skip that one. But, this was awesome. So we'll see where they go with Darby from here, but we just had to talk about that because Darby Allin winning the AEW title was good. So
Awesome.
now we get to move on to more of a sore subject here that we've thought about talking about this so many times, and it just keeps happening and keeps coming up that we're finally going to talk about it. So let's talk about fans getting too close to wrestlers in hotels and in public in general, right? So coming out of WrestleMania this year, WrestleMania was in Vegas, and I guess the Wrestler Hotel was the MGM or whatever, where there was just fans mobbing the place. And so many of these wrestlers had stories that they were saying that fans were getting up in their face with cameras and stuff. You had the video of Royce Keys, aka Powerhouse Hobbs, just sitting there calmly telling a fan, like, I'm going this way. I'm not giving you a photo. Like, and this is what, like, these psychotic fans, they will literally sit there and guilt trip you. They'll say, I came from far away. You're my favorite. These are my kids, blah, blah, blah. They do all this guilt tripping of these poor people, of these famous people who are just trying to walk from one hallway to another. And then there was Sean Waltman said that he was getting cameras put up in his face and he got assaulted. Booker T said that the fans were filming him in the bathroom. There was obviously the TMZ video of the fan who was essentially stalking AJ Lee and Bailey, who were trying to just give each other a hug in the hallway of a hotel. So CM Punk went over and slapped the phone out of that guy's hands, and that guy, I guess, came out and said that he wants an apology.
No,
I wouldn't apologize to that guy.
No. As much as CM Punk can be a jerk sometimes, that was not him being a jerk. Sorry.
So let's just clarify the layers of all this. So are you allowed to film whatever you feel like generally in public? Yes. Is it okay if you see someone, like if you're in a hotel lobby and it's like all the way across the lobby, it's like, oh, there's Seth Rollins. Like, can you take like a picture from far away to like text somebody and send your friend like, oh, I'm in the same room as a famous person? Still weird, but okay. Videoing them just living their life, while not illegal, weird and creepy. There's no point. They're just trying to check into their hotel, buy a coffee, whatever. They woke up just like you. They need a coffee. They have a headache just like you, or whatever the case may be. They don't like traveling just like you. Would you like to be filmed when you're sleepy and groggy in the morning in your pajamas or whatever, or at the end of the day when you're just trying to go to your hotel room when you've got your biggest show of the year and you've got people just staked out outside your hotel? So it's so obvious that it's gone too far that I think, in my opinion, there should be no expectation that any of these people owe you anything. I don't care if your little kid is dressed in John Cena gear. John Cena does not owe you anything, because there are ample opportunities these days. If you are that much of a super fan to stalk people at a hotel, well, why don't you just sign up for one of the many paid meet and greet or autograph or appearances that these people all do, right?
Yes. Yep.
Or God forbid you shoot your shot on social media and say, I'm going to be in town, Rhea Ripley. This is my daughter. Look at her do your entrance dance in our living room. She wants to meet you. She's a super fan. And if they say yes, you can beg on social media. Beg and grovel to your celebrity, to your gods that you worship. But they're actual people in real life. So you're not seeing Rhea Ripley, the character, walking down the hall. You're seeing just that person who's off the clock trying to just live their life, you know? And on top of it, when you're in, like, these guys are coming from meet and greets that were like hours and hours of their day and media appearances, and then they get mobbed by people. Like, after they're clocked out from just having done that, you know? It's like, well, I just went and I sat at a table and I signed pieces of paper for someone who paid me, I don't know, $500. But now I'm trying to walk to my hotel room and some guy's out here with this little kid trying to guilt trip me, and he's not going to give me $1, you know?
Yes.
Not that you should not that money would, I'm not saying bring $500 and wait outside their room with money.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they just did that for hours and hours and hours because it's their job, and now you're essentially just bothering them and stalking them off the clock. So in my opinion, like, I never understood, like, why you want to go bother a famous person at all. Don't you feel like you're bothering them? Like, if you were in Disney World and you saw, I don't know, like a famous person, first of all, if no one else, or maybe like a moderately famous person, like a wrestler, where it's not like Post Malone or Justin Bieber, where there's going to be, they need security, you know? Like, these people are just trying to live their lives. Like, you see, I don't know, Cody, although I'm sure Cody would have security if he was in Disney World. But you see Cody, he's with his family. You're really going to need that. You need that. Just take a picture from far away, be the creep that you are, and let them live their life. Text your friend and say, hey, isn't it funny that I'm in Disney? There's Cody. Oh, my God. Don't go over and come up with your pitch deck about how, Cody, I'm your biggest fan. I bought all your action figures, and I love you, and Brandy's a good wrestler, too, and I follow you on Instagram. And can I have 45 photos, 3 signatures, and 2 belly rubs? Thanks. It's like, no, you're a psycho. Leave people alone. So in my opinion, that's the new rule. That's the standard. These people owe you nothing. You don't get a signed Funko Pop in the airport. You don't get a quick photo. Nothing. They owe you absolutely nothing. That's the basic level. The next level is when you start to follow them around, not only do they still owe you nothing, but now it's like you're crossing a line. You may not be crossing a legal line per se, but it's definitely unacceptable behavior. And I think that it needs to be pointed out that, you know, it's like the parasocial relationships. All you're doing is obsessively stalking people. And whether you want signatures on a Funko to make money off of, or whether you want to hang out at a hotel that you're not staying at with your kid to meet a famous person who is staying at that hotel, it's just not acceptable. You know?
I agree. I do wonder, is it okay? Because I think about this sometimes. Let's say we're in Disney World and we see Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona. Can we just give them a shout? Say, yo, love you. Is that cool?
Well, that's what I mean is if you are so compelled where you need to like, because that's where it kind of comes from. It's like, they're there. I need to tell them I know them. Like, I need to tell a famous person that I know them. Because what are you truly going to get out of this interaction? Hey, I'm your biggest fan. Let's be friends now. Like, that's not going to happen. Yeah. So if you really are like, but that's the problem is that that's how it kind of starts, right? It's like, oh, well, I'm going to walk up to him and be like, hey, just stand there. Boop. You know, like that's even worse. So you could acknowledge someone, but you're essentially breaking their peace because now you're pointing out to anybody else, hey,
Good
that's
point.
Matt Cardona over there. And then everybody, huh? Who's that over there? You know, it's just, you know,
Good
like
point.
I said,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
see them. Don't stalk them. You don't, live your own life. How about that for an idea? Live your own life instead of trying to follow people around who are living theirs. So, and I'm only saying that because people have gone so far with, when you're filming Booker T in the bathroom, for one, there's been a lot of stories about wrestling fans who just cannot mind their business in the bathroom, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the bathroom is where you go to the bathroom, folks. Nobody wants to be chatted up while they're in the bathroom. I don't even want to talk to my boss when my boss is in the urinal next to me. I wait until we are done pissing. I wash my hands and then I say, how's it going, boss? I don't sit there and go, oh my God, the boss is pissing next to me. What's up, boss? Don't get any on your shoes, bro.
Listen, I know. On a way lower scale, we once saw the Miracle Generation in a hallway at a Polish club, and they were chit-chatting. I didn't know what to do. They were just talking freely and like nice guys, like waiting to go to the bathroom. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to bother you, man. I'm out. It's like, cool, man. Have a good match. And I had to get out of there. Like,
because you're a fucking fanboy. You're a
I can't handle.
fanboy.
I do live in fear of like being all up in someone's business. It does make me feel weird, and I never know what to do, and I never want to do anything.
Well, you're there to be a fan. Sit in your fucking seat and watch the show.
Okay, guess I'm completed on the internet.
No, what I mean is find a legitimate purpose in your own life. You know what I mean? Like, if you, like, oh my God, I want to talk to that famous guy. There's opportunities. Obviously, if you're at an indie show and they're like, go over to the merch tables and meet these people, that is your chance. But again, usually with the more famous people, it's paid autograph signings, right? So for one, you're avoiding that, right? That's the stupid shit, right? Like, you just don't want to pay. I don't care how much it costs. This is who you love. You want Tom Brady's autograph, you got to pay a lot of money for it. You can't just be like, but I'm his biggest fan. You know?
Exactly, yep.
So basically, these people don't owe you anything. And just, like I said, the line to me is, I'm going to film. If you want to film someone, like, or a quick snap a photo. I saw Seth Rollins at a Starbucks at an airport. Like, that's bad enough because now they're going to see you doing it. But at least you're letting them live their life. but going up to them, like, what do you have to say to these famous people? You are a fan of their work. Congratulations to you. We all are. Like, I don't know, get them on your podcast. Like, start a podcast if you want to talk to famous people, you know? Like, go get a journalism degree. Like, go get media credentials. I don't know. Start a business, you know, where you work if you want to fanboy out that bad, or just go through the normal channels of paying for the meet and greets and doing all that, you know.
Agreed.
So yeah, so that was, I saw a lot of that, and I just wanted to kind of put that out there. So, all right, folks. Episode 100. Can you guys believe that? 100 episodes. We've been doing this for a few years. We've come a long way, like I said, from thinking that Parker Boudreaux was the next big thing. We've come a long way from wondering if CM Punk will come back to wrestling.
Yeah.
So we've been doing this show for a while. And before we get out of here, we got one more thing to do. We are going to get to our WCW segment, but it is time to let you know. We should have done this at the beginning of the show, but I was too hyped up about episode 100, so you're welcome for not burdening you with the glorious purpose of needing to be kind, like, and subscribe. Watch Wrestling with Mike Wellman. You already know where to find the show, folks. 100, by God, episodes. YouTube, Apple, Spotify, social media, at Watch Wrestling Pod on Facebook, Watch Wrestling Podcast on Instagram, and Threads. I am Mike Wellman on Threads. At W Wrestling Pod on X. We don't really use X. Watch Wrestling Pod on TikTok. Like I said, you can find me on Threads at Mike Wellman. Folks, call and get your tickets now. All right, Kris. It is that time. Are you ready, my friend?
Oof. Yes.
Okay. So, folks, to celebrate 100 glorious episodes of this here independent DIY wrestling podcast, we are going to name 100 wrestlers from WCW off the top of our domes. So, Kris, I don't know what strategy you plan on employing in this, but I'm just going to ask you to stay off Google, stay off the internet, stay off your phone. I do have a proctor who's watching you at the moment. I can't tell you where they're stationed, but I will know if you cheat. So, we're going to try to get to 100. I don't know if this is going to be easy or hard. I actually think it's going to be easier than we think, because the rules are WCW, not Jim Crockett, not WWF, just WCW, 1988, 2001. We're going to name 100 wrestlers off the top of our head. I'll go first, Kris. Are you ready?
Yes.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Kevin Nash.
Scott Hall.
6.
Ted DiBiase.
Very good. The Giant.
Vincent.
Oh, yeah.
Not Vincent. No, yeah, Vincent.
This is great. Scott Norton. We've seen the strategy, folks. We're starting off like this.
Marcus Buff the Stuff Bagwell.
Masahiro Chono.
The Great Muta.
Yes. Yuji Nagata.
Going MMA on this one. Ultimo Dragon.
Oh, very good. Rey Mysterio. Junior.
Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, yeah. Juventud Guerrera.
Chavo Guerrero.
Perfect. Psychosis.
Got a World War III match brewing here. Super Callow. Back pocket right there. Now I'm out. That's it. I'm out.
I was literally going to say that next. That's amazing that you said that. How about this pull? Hector Garza.
I mean, we're not even We haven't even named. Okay, Sting.
Okay, good. You're right. Now let's go here. Ric Flair.
Arn Anderson.
Now, let's see. I'm going to stick away from some of the Four Horsemen because I'm not sure if they crossed over. So I'll go to later on, Brian Pillman.
The Iceman, Dean Malenko.
Oh, yeah. Damn. Oh, my God. Sid Vicious.
Kevin Sullivan.
Oh, yeah.
Sad day in my life.
The Shark.
Booker T.
Stevie Ray.
Stunning Steve Austin.
Steve Mongo McMichael.
Randy the Macho Man Savage.
Oh, I can't believe I forgot him. Jeez. Bobby Duncombe Jr.
Funny, we're gonna have a list of the guys that we didn't name, but we did
I
name
know.
when we were naming guys like Hugh Morris.
Oh, God. Lash LaRue.
We can't go down the cruiserweight route just yet. Dang, the problem is I keep thinking of guys that are related to the guys you pick, and I wanted to do all the main eventers and stuff. I really should have Googled this. Dennis Rodman.
Hey, that's right. How about Diamond Dallas Page?
Never heard of him. Paige Faulkner?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Let's see. Raven.
Perfect. Chris Jericho.
Bill Goldberg.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Jeez. Steven Regal.
Ernest Miller.
Nice. Oh, Scott Steiner.
Rick Steiner.
Terry Funk.
Kenny Chaos.
Oh, Lord. How about Robbie Rage?
How about Rocco Rock?
Oh, nice. Rocco Rock. Oh, my God. Listen, I can't believe I don't remember the other Public Enemy. Johnny Grudge.
That's 50, folks.
Wow.
Gotta keep my list here so I don't name the same guy twice. All right, let's see. Brian Knobs.
Good. I'll say Ron Simmons.
Have we even gotten all the WCW champions yet? No, we haven't, because wasn't David Arquette champion?
That's right. How about Cactus Jack?
Never heard of him. Kidman.
Very good. I'm also trying to think of main eventers now, but I'm like, I just want to say like,
I mean, I think we're gonna get there without. It's gonna be so funny if we leave people out. We put in like Kenny Chaos and Hector Garza.
I know.
You're gonna be like, you didn't.
How about Jeff Jarrett?
Jeff Jarrett. Saturn.
Rick Rude.
R.I.P. Van Hammer.
R.I.P. Big Van Vader.
Van Vader. Von Vader. Harley. Well, did Harley Race wrestle in WCW?
Good question. I don't know.
We'll keep him off because I don't know if he did or not.
That's also why I didn't say Tully Blanchard or Ole Anderson, because I don't know if they were in WCW either.
You already said Eugene Agata. He was going to be mine. He was going to be my number 61. Said Ernest Miller. Let's see. Lodi.
Very good. How about the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes?
How about Dustin Rhodes?
He's a natural. This is good. Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
The man who dropped Vader backstage.
That's right.
In sandals. Man. Let's see. Paul Orndorff, Kevin Sullivan. You got any other bookers? We already said Nash. Flair. Prince Iakea.
Oof. Paul Roma.
Jim the Anvil Neihart.
Very good. Dave Boy Smith.
Jerry Sags. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Hardcore Hack.
Okay. Was Elix Skipper in WCW?
He sure was.
Heck yeah.
Oh, that reminds me of Lance Storm.
Yeah, former United States champion Lance Storm. Okay, let me think. I'm going back to the flock. Got Raven, Saturn, Kidman, Hammer, Lodi. Don't say, you can't say anybody's name. You can't, like, help me. Missing somebody. Horace Hogan.
Who's the flock?
Hogan's legitimate nephew.
Too Cold Scorpio.
Glacier. Come on. 75. Glacier's number 75. I thought he was going to be like top 10.
Do you want me to hit you with the flock, or you want to think of those yourself?
No, you can, because I didn't get anyone. Or I got Horace.
Sick boy.
That's who I couldn't remember. All right, so we said Jericho. We said Juventud. We said Super Callow. Psychosis. Ultimo Dragon. Shark Boy was not WCW. That was TNA. Rey Mysterio. We said Eddie Chavo. I don't know if Chavo Sr. Did he wrestle?
I don't think he wrestled.
We just won't count him anyway if we can't remember a match. I can, however, look at my action figures and see if I forgot anybody that's over there. Lex Luger. Come on!
Wow.
77.
Good thing. That would have been a very bad one. Oh. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yeah, I'm looking at my WCW shelf. I should be looking at my my other shelf just for other guys. Kurt Hennig.
Oh, yeah, I can't believe it. Oh, Barry Windham.
Barry Windham is number 80. Warrior.
Oh, yes. Roddy Piper.
Bret Hart.
Another one. Oh my God, another oversight. Jeez. Good that we got him. Oh no. I'm blanking, so I'm gonna say Viano 4.
Michael Wall Street.
Okay. I'm also back. Canyon. Chris Canyon.
Oh, okay. I'm back too. Wrath.
Yes. Bam Bam Bigelow.
Brian Adams. Wait, was he Wrath or was Adam Bomb Wrath?
Adam Bomber's Wrath.
Okay, so
You're
Brian
good.
Adams, good to go.
Chronic into the chat.
We got High Voltage, Public Enemy, Chronic, the Nasty Boys. Did I say Sags? I said Sags. We got Nasty
You did.
Boys. We got Harlem Heat. We do have the Hollywood Blondes are on here.
Yeah. How about Max Payne and Cactus Jack? Let's go.
How about RoboCop? No, I won't count RoboCop. Or Chucky, for that matter.
I'm also not going to count Jake the Snake Roberts because he had like 3 matches. That doesn't count.
Terra Rising.
Very good.
91 is Terra Rising. Woo! That's right where that one belongs. Shawn Michaels ever in WCW, folks? I don't remember. Was he?
No, but you know who was? Marty Jannetty.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to remember just watching World War III matches. Like who was going over the top? Hugh Morris.
Definitely.
What's that dude's name? The fucking military guy with like that was like built like a barrel.
Uh-huh. Yes. That's Craig Pittman.
Well, you said it, so that's yours.
Yeah.
Colonel Craig Pittman. I mean, there's so many. We're good.
Horrible guy. Craig Pittman was a horrible human.
Shane Helms, folks.
Very good. There's a lot.
Especially when we're including Craig Pittman.
I just thought of someone too before I said Craig Pittman, and now it's out of my head.
I said Shane Helms. Oh, you said Craig Pittman, so now we're going to go with Evan Courageous. 95.
3 count. That means we have to do Shannon Moore. Oh, that reminds me of another one too.
I'm like out of guys here. Conan. Wow.
Oh man. Yeah. The uncrowned champ, Tank Abbott.
David Tank Abbott. Terrible choice. Tank Abbott in a real early MMA fight. A fan threw a bottle into the cage, and the ref could not get the bottle from Tank Abbott. They had to stop the fight. He was not going to fight without this broken bottle.
Jeez. Psycho.
Who else was back in WCW? Kenny Omega. He wrestled in WCW. He have any matches? I'm not going to use these two on our 90. Tank Abbott was 98. We're on 99 here, guys.
Wow.
Tonka ever in WCW?
Maybe for a match. I don't know, but
I'm trying to think. Like, I can't look it up. I can't look anything up. WCW. Okay. So, put on some WCW Saturday night. Who's coming through the weird door? The Macho Man made his debut on WCW Saturday night. I'm also thinking of the PlayStation game WCW Nitro because you'd play 10 matches with someone and it would unlock somebody. So, like, I would play 10 matches with, like, Mean Gene, and then I would unlock an even weirder character.
yeah, that was a fun game.
But I'm not putting Mean Gene because he's not a wrestler. Okay, let's see. Who wrestled at? Okay, so we got everybody from the Bash to the Beach match. I'm not putting Vince Russo, even though he was champion. I refuse to count him. He does not fucking count.
I agree.
Vampiro.
Oh, that's a good one too. Jeez.
One more, Kris. Name a WCW wrestler, and we can get out of here.
Man, I have one in my mind, but it's a stupid one, so I want to think of a better one.
Okay, that's good.
Let's go. I'm trying to think of an oversight. We must have had somebody.
Yeah, I think luchadors. We definitely missed some luchadors. Oh, definitely missed several luchadors.
I'm embarrassed I can't think of any luchadors.
So we already have Rey Mysterio, Psychosis.
Oh, La Parka.
Folks, 100 WCW wrestlers. I'll even add another one, 101 Blitzkrieg.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad that we had Lex Luger and La Parka because those were big misses if we didn't.
I'm very okay. Now we got to look. Now we got to take 5 seconds and look up who we missed.
I mean, there was Reese. He was the other guy in the flock.
Ah, Reese. Yeah, he was in the flock. All right, so WCW, there's 355 wrestlers, all right? I don't really count Abdul the Butcher. I'm not counting Air Styles. We forgot the legendary Alex Wright.
That's bad, yeah. Footskint.
I do not count Angelo Poffo. We forgot the Road Warriors.
That's... Damn, yeah, that's...
Barbarian.
Oh, Ming, yeah.
Barry Horowitz. Apparently Bob Sapp was in WCW. When was he in WCW? We forgot Big Bubba Rogers. We forgot the Big Cat.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah, the boss. Yeah, that's bad.
I guess Big Josh was in WCW. Big Vito. Speaking of people going up to wrestlers, did you see Big Vito grabbing somebody by the fat of their cheeks?
That's right.
Oh, my God. Why would you mess with someone named Big Vito? We said Kidman. You said Bobby Duncombe Jr. You got that one. We forgot apparently Bob Holly was in WCW. We forgot Bobby Eaton.
Come on. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like the big names here that we forgot.
Sir Robert.
And we were just naming male wrestlers. There was like no female wrestlers in WCW. There was like the Nitro Girls, and then at the end there was a few, but not really. We forgot Butch Reed.
Yeah. Doom.
We forgot Wildcat Chris Harris. I actually forgot he was even in WCW.
Oh, yeah.
We forgot Chris Adams.
That was the last, before I saw the Parker, I thought of Chris Adams. So I'm like, I'm not going to say Chris Adams.
Chuck Palumbo.
Yeah, those guys too.
How can we forget Crowbar?
Yeah, that's a mistake.
Dave Taylor. David Flair. We forgot David Flair.
Just like everyone else.
The Kiss Demon, Dennis Condrey. We said Dennis Rodman. We forgot the Disco Inferno. Well, we didn't forget him. We just didn't say him.
Disco Inferno. Yeah.
I'm looking for like luchadors. There was Dr. Death.
Oh, yeah. I should have said him. Yeah.
El Gigante. We forgot.
Of course. Dan Spivey, too. Shane Douglas. Man.
Said the Great Muda. Hiro Matsuda was in WCW, brother? When was that? Are we sure that was not...
It wasn't in 94 or beyond that, let me tell you.
It was definitely after he broke Hulk Hogan's leg, brother. Jerry Flynn.
Oh, Jerry Flynn, yeah. Sabu. I didn't want to say Sabu. He was on there for a little while.
Yeah. Said Conan. We forgot Kid Cash. I think a lot of people forgot about Kid Cash.
Yeah.
Lenny Lane.
Oh, yeah.
Louis Spicoli. We forgot about Louis Spicoli.
Yeah. Sorry, Lou. R.I.P.
Mikey Whipwreck. I don't really remember a lot of these guys' time in WCW. One Man Gang. PN News. How can we forget PN News?
That's bad, yeah.
Ricky Morton. We forgot Scotty Riggs.
Another flock member, yeah.
We didn't forget them. We just didn't really get to them. Sean Stasiak. Silver King. Here's another one we forgot. Stan Hansen. Stevie Richards.
like some of these guys all came to my head, but then after, like they went right out, so I didn't remember them again.
Wolfie D was in WCW when?
Wolfie D.
Tony Marinara. Tony Halme. Apparently was in WCW. I don't remember him having any matches. Tony Atlas.
Yeah, Johnny the Bull. That would be one. With Tony Mamaluke, yeah.
Fujinami was in WCW?
Yeah, I think those are like on when Worlds Collide, like the pay-per-view in like 95 or something.
Steve Corino.
Steve Corino, damn.
I mean, we did a pretty okay job, I think. We just forgot some of the old timers and some of the people like Reese and Pez Watley.
The Road Warriors was one.
Pierre.
That's bad.
We forgot Pierre Carl.
Oh, and yep.
Ole Anderson, he's listed on here, but I don't know when his last match was. Nikita Koloff.
Oh, that was one, yeah.
Meng.
Yeah, Meng.
That's gotta be the biggest one we forgot. He was gonna kill us.
Magnum TA was only in NWA, right? I think.
I don't think Magnum was in WCW. He was.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah.
I mean,
Meng.
Maybe.
How dare we?
When did he? WCW 88. Oh no, he was in WCW from November 89 was when. I don't know. That must have been 89. Must have been his accident. So yeah, folks, we did it. We got through 100 WCW wrestlers off the top of our head. So maybe we'll do that again for episode 200. Maybe for episode 200, we'll try to name like 200 wrestlers or something.
Oof, that'll be fun.
But yeah, hopefully, we will be able to remember 200 wrestlers come episode 200 because we got 100 more to go, several hundred more to go. We are not going anywhere, folks. So it is time for you to be kind, like, and subscribe. Thank you for 100 episodes. Me and wrestling fan Kris appreciate every last one of you who have ever downloaded a podcast, watched one of our shorts, watched one of our videos, hit us up, came to my house, knocked on the door, would not leave, took pictures of me in the shower,
saw us in a hotel,
boiled water, poured it on me, saw me at the hotel, heard me say my hotel room number out loud. Then at 2 o'clock in the morning, meowed like a cat outside the door. We appreciate all of you. So, folks, we will be back with episode 101. So, until next time, my friends.
Slams in the drama, your new favorite show. We drop the hot takes, keep the crowd in the flow. Clotheslines, power bombs, suplex the beat. Tune in weekly, we'll take the hot seat. From the ring to the street, the vibe stays elite. Watch wrestling with Mike, nobody can compete. The face and the heel, we break down the deal. Wrestling fan Kris, the man and the myth. Voice of the people, that's a hypodermic needle. Clotheslines, power bombs, suplex the beat. Tune the beat, tune in weekly. We'll take the hot seat. From the ring to the street, the vibe stays elite. Watch wrestling with Mike, nobody can compete. Mike's the name, wrestling's the game. Hit play every week, the vibe ain't the same. Boom bap beats with a podcast flame. Get your fix right here, spark your claim. So grab your belt and get into this groove. The champs and the moves, we've got it all to prove. Mike Wellman spinning what you need with a clue. Watch wrestling, let the boom bap ensue.